name is Phil. Today's project, what we're going to do is we're going to install LATICRETE's floor heat. It's an electric floor heat system. LATICRETE actually supplies us real conveniently. We have the mat. It comes with a wire eye. We'll explain what that is. That's to make sure there's no faults as you're installing. Of course, the thermostat. And if you're ever in doubt, make sure that you read through and follow all the instructions in the instruction manual. First step is what we're going to do is we're going to take a damp sponge and just wipe down the plywood substrate here. Make sure that there's no bond breaking materials on it, like dust or any sawdust. Okay, the product that we're going to use to actually contain the self-leveler is called edge strip kits. The material is actually a synthetic cork, and it comes actually with a peel and stick, so a pressure sensitive adhesive on the back. First step is to kind of loose lay them around the perimeter of the room. They come conveniently right out of the box, and they will cut with the standard utility knife. This area here is where our vanity sits. So what we can do is we're going to actually use the kits right inside here. There's no need to use either a self-leveler or anything inside. We can just shim up the bottom of the cabinet. It saves time and saves material, which saves money. Okay, after we've loose laid the materials, now we can just use the peel and stick. And then press it onto the plywood. Notice that we went right over the heat duct. We're going to actually then take this other piece and go in front of it. It's recommended actually that we take 3 resistance tests. That and we're going to do one as the box, as it just came right out of the box. It's actually marked right on here what the resistance should be. I got a digital ohm meter. We're at 47.6, and it says right here on the mat it should be at 48. So we're right within. What we want to do is just write that first reading down. We're going to do 2 more. We're going to do one after we've done the mat, one after we've done the self-leveler. And then we should be totally encapsulated. There's no way that we could damage the wire through the rest of the installation. It's very important to use a primer when you're using a self-leveler. And take a brush, go up to our edge strip kit, and make sure you prime the whole substrate. Try not to leave any puddles, and then we're going to allow this to dry before we put down our mat. LATICRETE provides a tool actually called a wire eye. And what we do is we wire it up to our cold lead. It's got a sensor, of course, that alarm. If that goes off while you're doing the installation, that's when you got to stop, because that means you have a fault. We'll put this wire in here. We'll turn it back on. No news, no sound is good news. Okay, we're back from lunch. We allowed our primer to dry. We're going to take our LATICRETE mat. It's got an actual adhesive on the back of the mesh here, so it'll stick really good to the primer. Okay, now that actually we're going to be spreading out the mat. We left a channel here in our edge strip kit so that our cold lead will go up to our electrical box. So by putting a primer, the sticky part that's on the back of the LATICRETE will help hold it down. You can see how it's holding it already. But you can also then intermediately, you can use staples. Make sure, of course, you never hit this blue heating element. Okay, after we've stretched out the wire, you can see we have great coverage here. We're just under the front of the toilet. We're not too close to the wax ring. You can use a hot glue gun here for any of the loops. We had to free wire a little bit here, so this is hot glued down. So we can just check, and if we need to, we can just glue down all the little loops to make sure that they stay below the self-leveler. Alright, now we're ready to pour. We got LATICRETE LATILEVEL 86 is what we got. Mixed it exactly like it says on the bag. What this does is it'll come right up to the screen of our edge strip kits. You can see that it will not go into our heat duct. So it's a matter of just taking your time and allowing it to flow. Notice how by using our edge strip kits over our floor heat register, it contained the self-leveler from going into it. And look at how level, how flat and level this self-leveler is to our edge strip kits. This is definitely the best way to install a floor heating system, by encapsulating the wire, giving a smooth surface. We're going to allow this to dry. We'll come back tomorrow. Okay, here we are, we're at the second day. Our self-leveler is completely dry. Look at how flush, how smooth it flushes up to our edge strip kits around our heat duct. Remember we said we could just take a simple utility knife and cut out our heat duct and expose it. The edge strip kits provide a soft joint between the solid surface of the tub, the outside plates of the 2x4s under the drywall. That allows for any expansion that might happen in the floor heating system itself. Okay, we're going to be installing our Ditra now as our uncoupling membrane. Uncoupling membrane means that it actually allows the substrate to have any flexibility or movement without being transferred to the top of the tile. It's excellent material. We're going to show you how easy it installs, and it cuts easily with a standard utility knife. Okay, you see we've loose laid our Ditra. We're going to actually pick up this piece here and strike a line on our floor, because we'll know then where to spread to. We've mixed up our thin set. You use the thin set a little bit looser than you would do for a tile surface, because we want to make sure that we're embedding the fleece completely into it. Okay, after we've troweled it, we just use a finishing trowel to completely embed the fleece into the wet thin set. The Ditra goes together with simple, just a butt seam actually. So just lay it into, again, the wet thin set. And actually just bring the seams together. Use your trowel. Make sure that you embed it into the thin set. The beauty of using the Ditra is that literally we can start tiling right away. Okay, now we're finished up here. We want to thank our friends at LATICRETE International for supplying our floor heat. They also supplied our thin sets and our self-leveler. And we want to thank the Schluter Systems for the Ditra contribution for this project. And if you have any questions whatsoever about the edge strip kits, make sure you contact me personally. That's Phil@edgestripkits.com. I'd be happy to answer any questions or field any comments. Now it's time to just enjoy this floor.